welcome back to the School for Evil and Good, a Monster Heart stream here on ManaPot Studios. I'm Chris Bernal, aka Crifu, on all the socials and right there, and I'm the MC for this game. It's based on the book series by Soman Chainani called The School for Good and Evil, which you can see in the links that will pop up in the chat. Without further ado, let's meet our cast. Hopper.
Oh, it's me? It's never always me the first time, right? Hey, what's up? I'm Hopper. I can be found at Failed Deadly with a 3 instead of an E, because I'm awful, on pretty much most interwebs locations. And I don't know, I'm just a general train wreck of a human being, but I'm here today to play Trip, the sad little Cerberus puppy boy, who's also kind of a dick.
What does Trip look like?
We're doing that. Yeah, that's right. So Trip is like kind of stocky, but like pit bull ripped. Like, you know when you're like, does that dog bench press? Like that kind of like it's a little bit weird. Previously had shaggy hair, now has a fancy faux hawk. Did we end up with faux hawk? I think we ended with.
Yes, we did end up with faux hawk.
It was mostly consensual. Yeah, he just big old puppy eyes. Generally doesn't like wearing sleeves. I'm just gonna wear less sleeve every time we stream. We got one more stream. Maybe next time I won't be wearing a shirt. Who knows? But in general, just looks very uncomfortable 95% of the time.
That's relatable. I go next. Cool. I'm Maddie. You can find me around the net as Cellar Tater. I'm on Instagram. I do lots of art. And I play Shinnok. She is she's very tall, stylishly dressed to never. She's got this long red hair, usually tied back in a ponytail of some kind, usually very elaborate. And she is, she's Fae, and she's also been sort of saddled with the ancient consciousness of a semi-trickster god, the fox deity Reynard. That's pretty much Shinnok's deal.
And as we head over to the School for Good.
Hey everybody, I'm Marcy, but you can find me around the internet as Experimental Madness. I am playing Lilu Beaumont, the daughter of Belle and the Beast, resident cinnamon roll, shy girl, and winner of duels. Normally she is like quite short, a little bit hunched over, likes to hide behind her big bushy brown hair, but well, at least the last time we saw her, I don't know how well that braid held after that moment, but Shinnok had managed to work her magic into putting all of that mess up in an awesome braid and actually getting her to wear form-fitting clothing, and gave her a script to challenge one of her bullies to a duel.
And you won!
And I won!
Pretty dramatically.
So exciting.
It was amazing.
And last up, I'm David. I am an illustrator, graphic designer, and game designer. You can check out my game stuff over at dbb-8.itch.io. I will be playing Milo of Ingary, the uptight soldier boy who just can't seem to get it right. He's out there trying his best, and his best isn't very good.
Oh, no.
Milo is a boy of 16, short but fairly fit, tends to be seen in a uniform of some sort, whether it is a very shipshape version of the school uniform or his former Ingary cadet's uniform. And always maintains his Ingary cadet's tin badge of office, I want to say, but office isn't the right word.
Rank?
But he wants a rank, sure. But he wants you to know that he is connected to his homeland's army, for which he is still intensely loyal, even though he has embarked on a quest to become a force for good in the woods.
You tried to leave the School for Evil and Good last week.
Yes, Milo made a break for it. After the fallout from the trial by Tail, Milo did not feel that he was quite cut out for this whole thing. But I'm gonna say euphemistically conversation with Trip, I think maybe brought him back around. Trip quite literally beat some sense into the boy.
I swear to God, I'm not responsible for my dumb baby's actions.
So we'll see what comes of that. Because Milo's staying for now.
Winter is officially here in the Endless Woods, and so we see the two castles on either side of the lake that lies between them. One black, one white, one dark, one bright, with snow kind of falling around and covering the school grounds. Whereas, last time it was mostly just kind of fluff and drift. Melting almost as quickly as it hit the ground. It's sticking now. And we zoom in, and I think we catch a little montage of our favorite students as they're running around, starting back up the semester in earnest. During Sidekick Week. The annual Sidekick Challenge happens every year. The deans of Good and Evil, Dean Merlin and Dean Morgan Le Fay, get together and they assign sidekicks, minions, henchmen, magical creatures, and strange things to their students and essentially ask them to keep them alive or safe. Secure, clean, calm. Just keep them out of the way, please. For a week. Ooh. Shinnok, what sidekick did you have?
I had a... So, I want to say, miniature sphinx, or an enchanted, not enchanted, but, one of those sentient magical animals. She's actually right here, right next to me, right now. Here she is, actual footage of my sidekick.
Aww.
So I think she's an enchanted, sort of sphinx-like, very sly, very clever, very manipulative kind of creature. Feline creature.
What has she taught you?
So I think she has taught Shinnok how to better get her way, if that makes sense. Shinnok's all about extracting promises from people. I think, sphinxes are all about riddles and things like that. I think this familiar, this creature has sort of taught her how to talk circles around, her prey.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I love that. Do we?
I think she's. I don't know if Shinnok has. I don't know if Shinnok has internalized this, but I think the familiar definitely has the sort of everyone is prey mindset.
Is it that Shinnok internalized that, or did she already feel that way?
Who can say?
Chicken or the egg?
This is a terrifying development for Shinnok.
Well, no. I said I don't know if she's internalized it.
Oh,
I'm just saying
okay.
it's out there.
Okay.
Wow.
Mhm.
What
Now
was
that would be a
your-
hard character.
Really, what we're saying is this is a terrifying development for everybody else.
Yes.
What is
That's more to the point.
What was the name of your psychic?
I'm gonna say, I'll type it in chat. Nyx.
Well,
That is
lovely
the Greek
little
goddess of
Nyx.
the night.
Hi, Finn FPS. We're playing a game of Monster Hearts 2, tabletop role-playing game, but we've set it in a fairy tale world called The Endless Woods, based on the book series, The School for Good and Evil. Thanks for joining us. So, Nyx the Sphinx, how did you spent your week, and she whispered to you about how to
There she is.
There she is. I feel like you spent the whole week just with her, almost maybe ignoring other people.
Yes.
How did Trip handle that?
I think Trip had his hands full with other matters.
Trip, what was your sidekick?
Trip is Trip received a imp, an actual tiny, awful, amorphous kind of demon, named Malaka.
Malaka.
Definitely don't put that in Google Translate.
Okay.
I don't need
Okay.
to.
I won't.
Because reasons. Because we're so PG-13.
You're playing a lot
Anyway.
of Assassin's Creed. I know what that means.
Yeah. So Malaka's kind of a little bit of a handful. By a little bit, I mean a lot of a handful. And has multiple personalities, which is super fun. It's like keeping track of 3 tiny little children, except that they're amorphous and slightly magical and very annoying and mildly persuasive. So there's a lot of but the good thing is being amorphous and an invertebrate, Trip has found that a great way to control the behavior of Malaka is to pitch him across the room with force.
I hesitate to ask this, but did you learn anything from your time with Malaka?
Indeed. I think Trip picked up a general kind of a knack for just being a little bit more scooch more persuasive, but more, it's really less that he's more persuasive and more that he's more comfortable basically being visible in a lot of ways. He got so used to basically chucking a tiny amorphous demon across various rooms, halls, and structures, and occasionally squashing it, and generally prying it out of places it shouldn't be. Who's basically what's the word I'm looking for? It's the type of therapy, exposure therapy to being noticed.
So while on one hand I feel like Shinnok's Sphinx kind of kept her isolated, your imp instead thrust you into people's attentions.
Yup.
Which is usually the reverse in your relationship.
Yup. Trip is displeased.
So we head over to the School for Good, and we can see our students dressed up in their winter finest, maybe out in the field, like building snow people or making snow angels, playing with their sidekicks. Lilu, what is your sidekick?
I think that Lilu has something called Luten. Pardon if we have anybody who happens to be from France on this stream that can correct my pronunciation. A little hobgoblin that likes to braid hair, which is very, very helpful for Lilu in all of her many, many endeavors. And also has the knack for turning things invisible. This was at first very disconcerting when a lot of her books started disappearing, and she had a very stern talking to with the lieutenant about the books are off limits. Everything else is fair game, but not that. I think that she goes around during the first week of sidekicks with the lieutenant kind of on her shoulders because he likes to put knots in hair. So she's just given him permission to keep braiding her hair, which means, surprisingly enough, that I think what she gains here is actually confidence. She can't really hide behind all of those curls anymore. And having a little friend that likes to do magic for pranks has given her a little bit more confidence in her own skills with her own magic. And the knowledge that if she doesn't like a situation, she might have a friend who helps her get out of it.
She might. What was your friend's name?
Marius.
Marius.
Because it was the first name that I thought of.
So yeah, we see Lilu with her hair out of her face and out of the way. Which, if anything,
Just dramatically.
I imagine we catch a glimpse of you in swordplay.
Yes, she's definitely thrown herself into her swordplay and her studies, I think, harder.
Amazing. I can see with the blade as her braided hair is ponytailed back and not constrained, but taken care of. Milo, what was your sidekick?
Yeah, so Milo was assigned a little enchanted clockwork figure. One of those little clockwork marching band guys that you sort of wind it up and they go, and they have a little drum, I think not sort of a larger, maybe a foot, large enough to do things,
Right.
but still a pretty little clockwork guy.
Clockwork drummer.
Yeah, a clockwork drummer.
And what was his name?
His name was Winston.
Winston. You two seem like a match made in heaven.
Well, the teachers at the School for Good are very good.
What did you learn from Winston in your time with him?
So, I think Milo initially sort of took this on as I've been assigned a subordinate, and I will issue the subordinate orders, and they will execute. This is a little clockwork man. I don't have to worry about him. He will execute my orders as expected. Very good. And I think he found quickly that Winston wasn't quite as well behaved as he expected.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps in maybe the opposite way that one would expect a minion to be well behaved. So I think Winston, once he gets his little mind to something, to a task, he does it, and he does not stop. And I think maybe there were a couple of times where he took some things too far or overdid a task. Milo sent him down to get a book from the library, and Winston just came back with book after book after book after book until there was a huge stack. And ultimately, I think Milo had to learn a little bit of finesse, a little bit of empathy, a little bit that maybe this is not just a machine to be ordered around. It's a little person, and they might have their own thoughts and feelings, and the way to sort of finesse your way into getting what you want out of somebody is to not treat them as somebody to be ordered around, but as more of a partner.
I see that. It also is kind of a warning against, taking direction to the letter of the law, if you will.
Yeah,
Being less subjective at times, and maybe taking on your own intuition.
Definitely.
Or maybe that's what Merlin is thinking as when he assigned you that sidekick.
I do like how you guys are loosely assigned vaguely helpful things, and we just get things that are chores.
So we're all gathered with our sidekicks at the end of the annual Sidekick Challenge. The four of you have all been successful in befriending your new friends and henchmen, minions, allies. And we're gathered in the clearing before the Endless Woods to wish them goodbye. So maybe we... How does your creature leave?
Can I go? I think so. Trip over this week has learned exactly how much of a pain in the ash. Sorry. Wow, you could see the gears turning in my brain. How much of a pain in the ash it is to deal with a rambunctious, little aggressive, impulsive biscuit, but has basically kind of begrudgingly grown to love Malaka, but has like this kind of low-key, sweet, antagonistic bribe and carrot and stick relationship with him. And so when it's time to go, during there's like this kind of quiet, heartfelt, like, God, I hope I never see you again, with the clear subtext that it's, I'm going to miss you. And then it's just like, yeah, I'll see you in hell. And then Trip's like, yeah, that sounds about right. And then just punts him. And disappears into a flash of brimstone and smoke.
Through the tree line. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I think...
Go ahead.
I thought it was popcorn style, but if you want to go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to comment on the violence of Trip's love. Hurts so good.
I think that when it's time to say goodbye, we're sending them out into like the Endless Woods. So
where they belong, where they come from.
Yeah, I think that Lilu takes little Marius from off of her shoulders. He's still trying to like fix the last few braids, and I don't know what she's gonna do when she doesn't have like a permanent braider in her hair anymore. It's already coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And sets him down. Okay, I'm not sure what you were going to need or how long you were going to be gone or where you were going, but I made you this coat. And she has like this poorly stitched little coat for like a little goblin gnomish person. And I also baked you some snacks, and there's like a little tiny basket. She hands it to him. So make sure like you keep warm and you keep eating. I'm gonna miss you. You were so helpful. No one else is gonna be able to do this all the time. But take care and thank you for everything.
Oh,
Disney Prince.
I was gonna do an actual French accent. No, I'll just do goblin.
That wasn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
And it gives you a big hug.
Oh yeah, she kneels. She's like already kneeling down and like gives him like a hug, just like with her hands, because he's like super tiny.
Thank you, the artistically inclined. We
Aw.
heart you too. We
Yay.
heart you for the bits. And Marius kind of waves as they skip along and through the tree line.
I think that I think Nyx and Shinnok are coolly regarding each other, and Nyx would say something like, "Remember what I told you," and then would just turn around and be gone. Like she's there 1 second, and the next second just gone. Very mysterious.
Because the black fur, like standing
Yes.
in stark contrast on the white snow, and then behind it a little drift and nothing. Ooh.
Exactly.
The wind blows, and you blink as the snow out of your eyelashes.
And Shinnok, I think, just the vague dread and fear that has been kind of hovering around her all, I guess that they've been with their friends for a week.
Mm-hmm. They are like familiars, aren't they?
Familiars. The dread and fear that is the aura, just kind of blooms and then fades, but not completely.
Milo, in classic Milo style, is of course standing at attention with Winston facing him, gives him a salute. Good job, soldier. Mission accomplished. I hope your future endeavors go well. And Winston does a little
Salute back.
and then there's this sort of pause, this awkward moment, and then Winston up to Milo and wraps his little mechanical arms around Milo's leg, and Milo's posture, sort of slumps a little into something a little more natural, and says, "Oh, there, little fellow," and pats him on his little metal hat. Yes, well, I shall rather miss you too. It's been a distinct pleasure to serve with you. Oh, bother. Well, get along now. You'll do well. And with that, our little mechanical man undoes his hug and goes marching off into the woods. And the last I think Milo sees of him is the little clockwork key on his back, glinting as he passes behind a blue tree.
I feel like there's definitely, it definitely starts drumming once he's out of, eyesight, and you can just, hear fading, a sort of beat fading off into the heart of the endless woods. The sun is fading as your friends are leaving, and before the rest of the next portion of school starts, you know that you're all about to dive into your studies, for the Circus of Talents is in 4 weeks. And again, the top 10 students of both the School for Good and Evil will be selected to compete and show off the skills and magical abilities they've learned. And I do think that the four of you see each other here in the snow-covered clearing, watching your new friends leave.
What was Fang's familiar? Come on.
A second, bigger
say-
bird. word.
Second. Also,
This is-
but voiced by Eddie Murphy.
Oh Lord.
I did go straight to like a little dragon.
I'm
I mean,
wondering
You
if
could go with the baby rock.
does his falcon have a familiar? Like a familiar. for a
Familiars all the
familiar?
way down.
So,
Yeah, the falcon has a dragonfly, and
Oh Lord.
the dragonfly has a tick, and
Tick has a tardigrade.
No,
I was literally gonna say water bear.
that actually gives me a great idea for his sidekick.
Oh, gosh.
In the Golden Compass, in the greater series, there are these very small, tiny people that ride dragonflies, and they act as spies. So yes, he's got
yeah.
a little dragonfly
Of course
rider
he does.
as his
So cool.
sidekick.
Is he like sad to see it go?
I think Trip, are you going to go talk to Fang?
I assume we're in the same general area.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Trip's just gonna like give a little pat on the back and be like, there. It's gonna be okay.
And Fang looks at you like, I know things will be okay. I don't need my sidekick.
Sure
Not
you
like
don't.
you needed yours.
I imagine his bird is so offended right now.
No, I'm not referring to our...
No, I
Come along. And he just like turns and walks away, annoyed.
Trip. I think Malaka might have rubbed off on Trip a little bit more than intended.
Oh, will I... And he turns real quick. Will I see you for our lessons soon?
Count on it.
And he nods. Shinnok and Trip both, I guess, promised to tutor him?
to give him lessons. Yes. Lessons. Shinnok is gonna, I think, flounce over to Trip and say, long time no see. How's it going? How's your familiar?
So Trip just gives a shirty Boy Scout salute, like 2-finger, and just goes, it was a bit of a handful, but we saw eye to eye at the end. Yours?
It was an experience. Yeah, did a lot of Sudoku, a lot of word puzzles. She was obsessed with training the mind. She said it exactly like that too. Just a very ominous voice. Yeah. I've been having weird dreams. I don't know. But, she was nice. She didn't bite me or anything. It could be worse. Could have had a dragonfly, right?
Trip definitely laughs a little about that, and he just goes, well, sounds relatively relaxing. Just doing a lot of like rubbing the back of the head type, like awkward.
I think Lilu comes over to you guys, seeing the two of you, and just is like, hi guys.
What's up?
I was saying goodbye to my little sidekick friend. I think you two were doing the same thing.
Yeah, who did you, I don't want to say what did you get, because that sounds kind of horrible.
Oh, he was so nice. He was like a little, like a lieutenant. They like causing mischiefs and making knots in hair, and I point to like my well-kept braid. That maybe, just as I point to it, you see one curl go up, spring.
You had fun with that. I mean, I guess you are friends.
He was just a lovely little man that was helping me with everything. It was nice to have a little friend.
That's incredibly sweet. I had a strange eldritch sphinx cat as my familiar.
Oh, but I'm sure that the cap is nice too, right?
Yeah, nice.
Or
Not
not?
fun.
Trip just kind of chuckles at that. Just holds out his arm, and you just see like a big burn, a scorched burn bite, and he's just like, I had a demon.
Oh,
Oh my god.
It was kind
Are
of
you gonna put salve on that?
Trip literally wheezes at that, and then just kind of like acts a little bit flustered and just goes, "No, I'll be good."
Milo, from where you are, you can hear some people talking, familiar voices. And you turn and you see from your surviving fairy tales group, Adara, the tall Valkyrie-looking woman, and Elaine, walking back towards the school for good after saying goodbye to their comrades. And Adara says to Elaine, "Oh, look, Lilu's talking to those nevers again. Ugh. She might as well join the School for Evil. She's always speaking with them. As if we were too good for her. Ha!" And Elaine shakes her head. I don't know. Lilu's always seemed kind of nice. And Milo, you catch her eye briefly as she looks at you. And then she puts her head down and continues walking towards the school.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think Milo does something very similar. He just sort of catches her eye and
Looks away.
I definitely think that Lilu has, in fact, throughout like the winter holiday, been primarily hanging out with like Trip and Shinnok, and has been avoiding a lot of the Ever students because she has the condition untrustworthy.
The rest of the School for Good seems to think that she's in the wrong place.
Can I ask a slightly GM-styled question of Lilu? What has Lilu done that would tip off Milo that Lilu is actively avoiding him specifically?
I think you've seen her at one point like walk down a hallway as you were coming like around another hallway, and you just saw her go rip and like turn right around.
Damn.
But like not in a like kind of way, but in a like I don't know what to say. This still really hurts. I'm just gonna go now. Like she's cordial to you enough, but she hasn't said a word to you the entire like winter holiday and has like actively avoided.
And I think at this point, even Milo has gotten the message or a message, which we can pick up on in a bit, because it definitely there's definitely something that it prompts him to do later.
All right.
Okay. Curious. So, as we see Milo and Elaine kind of trade those awkward, wistful looks, the camera zooms up once more, and time begins to pass. We come to the next week of school, and there's sort of a split screen effect of the School for Evil and Good, and Dean Merlin and Dean Morgan Le Fay addressing their students in preparation for the Circus of Talents. The Circus of Talents. We see Milo and Lilu in the what's his class called? Good Deeds. The Circus of Talents, dear students, is a first-term tradition that is long in that has long lived up to the glory of the School for Good. We usually win this one, and that is why the Theater of Tales has, for the past 10 years, been in our castle. So, despite the fact that we lost the trial by tail this year, and he very keenly does not look at any specific students.
But Lilu still feels eyes.
Yeah, there are definitely people in the class who are looking directly at you when he says that. I hope that you will all try your best to win this championship and this challenge and keep the tales within our castle. The top 10 students will be competing in this challenge. And then it cuts over to the School for Evil. Let me see if I can't get some good music going. Let's stick with that. And we see Dean Morgan Le Fay. She's wearing a big black pointed hat with a green lacy shawl coming down and around. Yes. The top 10 students from each school will be competing, and one by one will show off their talents in the theater. We'll start with the lowest rank ever student, and then the lowest ranked never student, trading off one by one. The theater itself is enchanted to determine the winner of the talent off, as they say. For unfortunately, faculty are not allowed inside the Theater of Tales during the challenge. You will be alone. We are in her icy prison classroom, and we can see Trip and Shinnok as well as the rest of the Never students. Unfortunately, the School for Evil typically loses these challenges, as you know, but thanks to some very special students, our class captains rather, and she points to both Shinnok and Trip, I am hoping that we will take the crown and return the Theater of Tales to the Castle of Evil for next year's challenge. Did I miss anything? No. So basically, they're duels. They consist of duels between the 10th ranked ever and nevers and the 10th, and then so on and so forth, ending in the first ranked students. These duels are talent duels, so you're not actually fighting each other or doing effects. You take turns standing on stage and performing some sort of magic ability or talent that you have.
I think Trip is very disappointed when he finds out that he can't just punch his way to victory on this one.
No, I mean, that was what the last challenge was.
Look, a little bit of Captain Hammer mentality going on here.
That's right. Talent fight. Is punching a talent?
It can be.
Is there a One Punch Man in our school?
No. I refuse.
The most forbidden fairy tale of all.
just cuts to a massive stream of anime.
Oh God.
This just turns into Dragon Ball, the game.
So
I don't think Monster Hearts is capable of being angsty enough for Dragon Ball, actually.
Wow.
That's terrifying. Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
I had a moment.
Dragon Ball moment.
So yes, we have several weeks of school to get through in the next, tonight at least, as we're preparing for the Circus of Talents. Before we get into any roles to determine our rankings, are there any specific scenes or people you need to talk to or things you're interested in pursuing?
Yes.
Yes.
Milo and Shinnok both have agendas. Surprise, surprise.
So just so I'm clear, the Circus of Talents is individual nevers and evers switching off and standing on a stage and doing some sort of magical talent or ability.
Right, and whichever student does the best, the theater of tales itself is enchanted to determine who is the winner of the duel.
I see.
Right.
I see. Okay. Shinnok, I would like to, I just like to ask around, see what people, definitely want to, pull the top Never students and kind of see what their ideas are. She's really interested in finding out what, Fang is going to be doing, Gina?
Mm-hmm.
What she's planning on doing.
The Witch of Skund.
The Witch of Skund. And, although she's, kind of wants to, she's interested in knowing what the top ever students are thinking about as well. She wants to do some reconnaissance.
Well, with Fang, he is almost in your service at this point. He recognizes that, you two are the top students, and he's hoping to learn a little bit. So, if pressed, which you wouldn't have to press very hard, he's planning on doing. I've been practicing my archery, and with Hawk's help, I'm hoping to show off my ability with the bow.
Regular Katniss.
I'm not familiar.
Just one of my friends.
Oh, from Alsace-Lorraine?
Yes.
Is she a coal miner's daughter?
Do you know what, you know Gina, right? Do you know what she's thinking about doing?
I'm afraid not. She keeps to herself.
Am I present for this conversation?
Probably.
I mean, yeah. Gosh. Tagging along behind. I think Trip is going to take cues from what Shinnok wants and is going to dig for dirt, snoop around a little bit.
Okay.
On the old Gina.
So you go and find Gina. She is in the Library of Vice. Or in the library in the Tower of Vice, rather. You walk in and she's the young green-skinned woman is surrounded by a whole bunch of tomes and books. They're wide open, and she's studying and looking between them all.
There's a bunch of really punk rock reporters just hanging out. They're making a documentary, but it's fake.
God damn it.
You know what? There are 3 students that are putting together a newsletter of sorts for sure.
Are they smoking clove cigarettes the whole time?
Absolutely.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And so Gina is just so absorbed by her books, she doesn't see you come in.
I guess Trip's gonna skulk a little bit. Snuffle around.
Yeah.
Just basically, I'm just, I'm going to be professionally creepy, and so Trip's just kind of skulking around, looking, trying to keep an eyeball, snorkeling. I'm running out of adjectives. You gotta get
creepy. That's not your way of trying to turn her on, right?
No.
Wow.
This is my way of trying to roll for what we've what not the thing stuff reasons words. When you gaze into the abyss.
Got it. Okay, yeah. Roll with purpose.
I'm good at being Snoopy. which is hilarious now that I think about it. That is 8 plus 1 minus 1. That is an 8.
Okay. What is the? Can you read the move for me?
Yeah. So, well, there's gaze into the abyss, which we've substituted for something less.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had a specific Cerberus.
Oh, I do. Dig deeper. When you gaze into the abyss by snooping around for dirt on someone, add 1 to your roll. On a 10 and up, the owner of that character will tell you a secret, and you can choose to give them a condition to reflect what you've learned.
So
It just means I'm good at being snorkeling around for information.
right. So it looks like for this move, you need a 10 to get the
Yes.
full
And
collection.
I do get to add 1 to the roll, though, which is the relevant.
Yeah. You get an idea. Like she's definitely looking into some sort of flashy magics.
Okay.
And so that'll give you +1 forward to.
I'll convey that. So I think at some point in the future, I'll convey that information to Shinnok.
Chris, it looks like the music is.
A little loud, yeah. Sorry, y'all. It's this track, it gets really loud.
Oops. Sorry.
Hella music. Thanks, Hugo Lin Coco. What can
My
I say?
fiance. We've never met, but
Yep.
I've got a ring pop for you someday, Hugo Lin Coco.
Okay. Yeah, so it's clear that Gina is studying up on flashy magics. She's looking into something that transforms things. Definitely in the school of mogrification.
Excellent. All right, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to be helpful.
So Milo.
Oh, that's sweet. All right, I got 2 things I want to do. And I'm not sure what order. There's one that is directly related to the Circus of Talents, and there's one that is not. What do we want to go with? Because I feel like they would take dramatically different turns.
Which is more
Do we
important
want
to you?
to?
To Milo. Is that
Yeah.
correct with you?
Let's go with this. Milo wants to find Shinnok. So I think the best time to do that would probably be lunch, as that beyond the surviving fairy tales is the only time that Ever and Never students are really mixing, right?
Correct.
All right. Yeah. So Milo is sort of on the hunt for Shinnok. Where do I find Shinnok at lunch?
Probably sitting with Trip. I mean, Lilu's probably there. I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
see.
she's almost certainly with you. I think after we made up, we've been hanging out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then I wonder, would Fang be seen in the company of an Ever?
Yes.
Have Fang and Lilu fought in any training exercises after that whole showdown?
Maybe in class in Surviving Fairy Tales. Maybe like a little race. They try not to, in that class, they try not to encourage the students to duel each other, because it usually ends badly. But Fang wouldn't mind, as if you think she's trustworthy, then I don't mind.
No more untrustworthy than the rest of us here.
Hmm.
But yeah, Shinnok is hanging out, with Trip, Fang, and Lilu.
I think if Lilu sees you coming, she's gonna be, I just remembered. I totally forgot something up in my room. I've got to go get it. Okay, bye. See you later.
Okay.
And Milo is definitely like if you spotted Milo, he was definitely not like coming towards you with purpose. He was sort of edging towards where you were sitting, like trying to just slowly work his way up there without without being direct about it in any way, but it's so obvious that he's trying to slide up in the direction where this group is sitting.
If Shinnok sees Milo like coming when Lulu gets up, she would say something like, Lulu, wait, just hold on for just a second. Look, Milo's here. Don't you want to,
And Milo is like a number of yards away, like standing by a tree when you say that.
The least
And
subtle
sort of like just tries to like turn around, like flatten himself against your vision so
Nope.
that he's less obvious.
I can still see you, Milo.
Are you like holding on to Lulu?
Probably just by the hand, not like grabbing you.
So, question, Chris,
Oh no.
do we still eat lunch in the glade?
Yes. You are wearing cloaks and boots and things that have been magically enchanted to help keep you warm.
Nice.
Okay. No reason.
So
No
there's snow
reason.
on the ground.
That is, you know what? Don't know me like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Milo definitely gives up and has to sort of give a half-hearted wave. Hello there, everyone. How is your afternoon? How's everyone's lunch proceeding? Good, I hope. Great,
Yes,
excellent.
absolutely great. Come sit down.
Oh, I shouldn't think so. I have to water my sandwich. That wasn't right.
Water your sandwich.
Yeah. Miss Shinnok, if you don't mind, I would beg a word with you at some point, at your convenience, at your earliest convenience, in whenever you're, done.
Sure,
Lulu's
wanna go,
like frantically like shaking like her hand, like trying to get it out of yours.
I mean, whatever you want to say to me, you can say in front of our friends. I mean, unless it's private.
Death will be here at any moment.
Perhaps, yes.
Trip, were you gonna say something?
No, I'm just really
okay.
excited about what's going on.
Okay, I think Shinnok would look at Lulu and sort of waggle her eyebrows. I tried to do it, but I can't do it. And she's gonna let Lulu go, and she's gonna walk towards Milo, and she says, we can creepily hang out behind the tree if you want.
Yes, that would be intensely preferable. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Well, this already has not gone exactly how I planned. I don't quite know. Miss Hinnock.
Yes.
Well, I have a query for you, and well, I notice that you and Princess Lulu are spending a lot of time together lately, and you seem to have become rather close. And well, she she sort of hasn't been speaking to me at all of late. I was wondering if you happen to have any idea as to why that would be. I hope you understand this is in confidence.
Of course, I would never betray something told to me in confidence. That's me. I can't keep a straight face. That's me. Okay, so she's watching Milo very closely, and she says, yeah, I don't know, she hasn't really, mentioned you to me or really brought you up at all. So I'm not really sure.
Right. Well, I sort of got the impression she was put out by something that I'd done, perhaps during the trial, and...
Did you do something?
Well, you were there for most of it. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Again, you seem to be spending a lot of time together. I hoped as a friend you might have some sort of insight, and, well, you and I maybe got off on the wrong foot initially, but we seem to have sort of developed some kind of understanding with the exchanging drinks and offering at parties, that sort of... No?
So,
yes?
Has Lulu told Shinnok why she is avoiding
150%.
We talked a little bit about it last time.
Yeah, I think your characters specifically, the two of you specifically had like an on-screen conversation about it.
Yeah. It was the rejection in the hospital, right?
And the thought, less of the rejection, or rather, should I say, compounded by the fact that Lulu interpreted all of Milo's actions and his previous seeming friendship to be nothing more than what he felt was obligation of a soldier to a princess and not to friends.
Yeah.
So she has relieved him of said obligation.
So, okay. Shinnok is gonna lean back against the tree and, cross her arms. It's kind of cold. And let out a sigh. She might have mentioned something about it to me.
But she did.
Yeah. I'm just curious. What would you give me if I told you? What are you going to do with that information? I'm just curious.
What would I give you? Well, what do you want?
Shinnok probably knows. Maddie has not gotten that far. I think she wants... I think she wants Milo as
are you
ally.
just collecting minions? Like...
No!
Shinnok's
What?
goal to collect Milo as another minion?
No! What? Do that? No!
It's not that far off.
No. But also yes. No, I think she wants Milo as a man on the inside. But also yes, a man on the inside, because Lulu has sort of fallen out of favor with the Evers. And so I realize, God, Shinnok's such an asshole. But she's she also cares. But she also want a sort of man on the inside. So I think she'll say, well, if I give you information, maybe at some later date you give me some information. I scratch your back, you scratch my back.
Interesting. Well, I suppose that could be arranged. I had a rather interesting conversation with Trip a few weeks ago. Sort of made me realize something that has been kind of rattling around in my head, and that's well, perhaps you and I, myself and Trip, Evers and Nevers, all that, we're not really on different sides, are we?
Did you say we are or we aren't?
We're not.
No,
Well,
I mean...
We're sort of all working together in the end to make the stories happen, right? So
Yeah, eat the system.
there's a way
for the machine.
Machine.
The man, the machine.
Oh yes, of course. Yes, like everything works like a well-regulated machine, and it's all very proper, and the system works. Yes, I understand. I'm sorry. But yes, as part of that machine, we all have our roles to play, and you're on the side of villainy, and I'm on the side of good. But that doesn't really mean we have to be enemies. We can just sort of work together to do our parts, and well, if we do that, then everything will turn out all right. So. Well, yes, I'll get you whatever you'd like. So what is it you want to know, Miss Enoch?
I mean, right now I just have one question, and it's, Milo, have you ever had an original thought? Have you ever thought for yourself? I'm just curious. Playing the part is great and all, but
well, I must say what I just told you I thought was rather an original.
So believe it or not, my friend, there are people in this greater world that maybe they don't like the part they're supposed to play. I know it seems really crazy, but maybe they see it as kind of a, I don't know, invisible will being foisted upon them, completely out of their control. Have you ever experienced that, or do you really believe that you are good and I am evil? That's what I want to know right now.
Well, that's the situation as it stands. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but you're in the school for evil. It's rather straightforward. I feel like there's some sort of trick question here that I'm not getting.
Yes, I am in the school for evil, but I look around and Lulu's good, right? I mean, you think she's good, right?
Certainly, as an ever, yes.
But, she's hanging out with me in the school for evil, and she's not hanging out with you in the school for good. I'm just, it's... I can see I'm losing you here. Okay, so... People see the world as more than a series of obligations to be fulfilled, a series of duties to be completed. And they like knowing that people around them see the world in the same way. And sometimes it's very upsetting when someone you thought was your friend maybe just kind of seems to be doing it just because they're just for example, how would you feel if Lulu, was just nice to you just because she thought she should be, not because she, actually gave a crap about you as a person. How would that make you feel? You do have feelings, right? I'm just wondering.
Well, yes, and rather confusing ones right now, I'll confess. I feel like you're trying to tell me something, and I don't understand what it is. If Princess Lulu were to tell me that she were nice to me because she felt she should be, that seems appropriate. That's...
What do you mean?
If one is friends with someone else, isn't it appropriate to be nice to them? Isn't that an obligation of friendship?
I will say,
see.
It does sound like at some point someone is trying to shut someone else down. I just haven't figured out who is doing it yet.
Yes. Certainly.
I mean,
Dueling shutdown rolls.
Roll up?
I mean, I was going to ask at what point Shinnok wanted to roll to shut Milo down.
All right, Shinnok, go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
So roll
I
with
have
cold.
I have a -1 to cold. Do I have a string on my lip? Can I pull that to get? That's a thing, right? Oh no, I don't have a string. That's fine. Come on, baby. That is a
Oh, also,
7.
well, if it's a 7, this doesn't matter. But do keep in mind, Milo has a bunch of conditions piled on him right now.
That's true.
And you can add 1 to your roll if you're taking advantage of one of those conditions. Milo is reckless, insecure, and weak.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
I mean, she's definitely trying to take advantage of the fact that he's insecure. That's just.
Yeah.
Given.
Yeah.
So you're definitely coming across poorly in this exchange, and Milo is going to give you a condition in return.
That's fair.
Right, but you do get to choose from one of the 4 actions. You can make him lose a string on you. If they have no strings on you, then you can gain 1 on him. Or you can give him a condition, or you can take 1 forward. I feel like Milo.
Yeah, I currently have no strings on Shinnok.
You do actually. I mean, I think you got a string on me at the beginning
Oh, I spent it.
Oh, you did? I
Yeah.
guess I just didn't mark it. I didn't
So
mark it
either take a string on him, give him a condition as well, or take one forward.
all.
Which to people watching means that she'll just get +1 on her next roll.
Oh man, you have so many conditions. I don't want to like add another
I mean, I
one
think the
to-
string makes sense because
Yeah.
it does seem like Shinnok is still trying to like get a hook into Milo.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I'm trying to think of an appropriate condition for Milo to give Shinnok. Yeah, I mean, mean mean is the first thing that comes to mind. I think Milo, like the reason you come off poorly is Milo feels like you're jerking him around, right? And so I'm gonna say manipulative.
Yeah, that was a matter of time.
And I think and I think the end result of this shutdown is Milo's going to cut off the conversation. He's going to say, "Well, Miss Shinnok, I thought that we could have a conversation and approach each other as partners in this broader endeavor that we're in as schoolmates, but I see that I was mistaken. Sorry to have wasted your time, and quite frankly, I'm sorry to have wasted mine.
Hey,
I'll be seeing you."
Milo, don't go away mad. Look. She's gonna grab him by the hand.
Yeah, and he's like walking away as you do that, as you grab the hand.
So we see them, and Shinnok's just kind of like walking after him, talking into the air. That's where it seems Milo has stopped listening. And we see Fang sitting by himself, where Shinnok originally left the group, and we kind of rewind as Lilu runs off, trying to avoid the awkwardness of the situation.
So I was going to ask, because I also had a scene in mind, and this might bleed into another moment too, but it could be sometime later. But I wanted to check in with people if they're okay for a time skip from this
Time skip.
Time skip.
Yep.
It is.
Fast
I
forward.
think it's like later in the evening on the grounds, where it is accessible by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to think that over the winter holiday, quietly and most definitely out of view of everybody, Lulu has been trying to teach Elaine how to defend herself.
Interesting.
You gave me the idea for it because Elaine wasn't quite bashing Lulu, and I think that this has been on the down low.
Okay. So we are somewhere on the grounds. You're training Elaine with a sword?
What does she prefer? Because like Lulu, we know can do some magic. We know is like book smart and can also use a sword. I think she offered this at first because she saw how scared Elaine was in the cave. And out of all of the other Ever students that were ragging on her, she was mysteriously very quiet about it.
We'll give her a sword. Feels weird. Like, feels really because she's specifically not in the swordplay class. For Ever students, they have the choice between swordplay and weapons, fighting, and animal communication, summoning animals and speaking with them. And that's what Elaine took.
Just a suggestion
Mm-hmm.
but dancing and in general, like that's especially ballet is a super rigorous physical activity that shares a lot in common with a lot of martial arts. Just saying.
So maybe we're not using weapons per se, but just making motions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we see Elaine. She is a dark-skinned young woman who is quite fond of pink, and she has a prosthetic leg made from paper, which is quite useful to her in certain magical aspects. We're in a shaded part of the clearing, tucked away enough so that we're not too close to the endless woods, and it's the dangers that lie within, but, away enough from the school grounds, from the main entrance to the School for Good that people won't notice.
Stand up, straight, like we were dancing.
Right, yes.
And you don't have to be afraid if you hit me,
I don't want to hit you.
Elaine, I know you don't want to hit me. I don't want to hit you either. But in a real fight, you're gonna get hit. And I'm gonna get hit. It just happens.
You're right.
You want to do better in this Circus of Talents, right?
Yes, but I won't need any martial prowess for that. I have a dance planned.
You do?
Yes, actually.
I bet it's great.
I'm hoping it will be if I can maintain my ranking in the top 10.
Yeah, I've been trying to build that one back up myself, but we'll see what happens, Love to have another excuse to let down everybody in the school again.
That's not the case.
I know that that's the case.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. It's not really anybody's fault. Sometimes things just happen. Hey, you were scared in that cave. I didn't really care about winning. That's not me. I came here to learn and to, just see if I could have my own story, which I'm sure sounds pretty cheesy.
I mean, I don't have parents that are some of the most famous fairy tale heroes of all time, so...
It's not always a great thing.
I can understand wanting your own story.
Don't you?
Yeah. I've always wanted to dance in the spotlight. I don't know if my story will include that. I hope... Well... Professor Cinderella talks about how sometimes a princess... a princess... I mean, I'm not an actual... You know what I mean. That a princess waits for a prince to find her way.
Yeah.
I don't know if love is in my story.
I think Lulu gives not a hard look, but a pretty long, significant one, and says, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought and read and loved all the stories that have great romances in there, but there aren't any fairy tales for someone like me.
Don't say that. And she
No,
puts
don't. You don't
her
understand.
hand on yours.
Look at you. You're beautiful and talented and amazing, and you could have everything that you want. I love and I want that for any of my friends. But this isn't me just being Lilu. This is the reality, the worlds and the stories that we have. They're all based around this idea of true love that I don't feel that way about people all the time. That doesn't happen with me. I know that I feel like love for people, but not in the way that I think that the stories want me to feel it. There's always a curse or something that can be defeated with true love and a kiss. And listen, I know everyone says I'm naive, but I know what sex is, for goodness sake. I'm not that naive, and I can't do that.
Well, I mean, everyone in their own time.
No, when everyone says that I don't belong here, I know that they're right. I learned a hard lesson. I worked very hard about not caring for people in that romantic way, because I know that that's going to be unobtainable for someone like me, but I do want an adventure. It's too much to hope for a partner on that, but I can still have a story. I could still maybe get something, right?
And like she sees you kind of starting to cry a little bit, and she puts both her hands on yours now, holding them close to her chest. Lilu, I'm so sorry about the way everyone's been treating you lately. I know it's hard, but I think you can find your way. I feel like you're one of the most good students here. And your heart inspires me, however it feels.
Sorry. We're not here for that. We're here to listen. What kind of story do you want? Because I'm starting to believe that that's really all that matters, and you can have that. You can have all of it, and you should try to get it.
I am feeling a move here. I don't know if it's totally appropriate, but I feel like you are turning her on, and not necessarily sexually, but
right,
platonically.
Okay.
She's like, yes, this is the friendship that I long for. So roll with hot.
Okay. 7.
7. So on a 7-9, they can either give you a string or choose one of their actions. So go ahead and take a string,
Right.
as she lets you know that your heart inspires her. And I don't think we need to practice fighting today. Let's go get some hot cocoa.
Really? You're not afraid to be seen with me?
Not anymore.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that would be nice.
And she puts her arm in yours. And you head inside.
All right.
Ooh. Thank you, Golin Coco. I do want this to be better than Riverdale. That would be great. Dear viewers, our fellow evers and nevers, I think this is a great time for us to take our break. We will be back in 5 or 10 minutes, so please don't go anywhere. And when we come back, we will begin our rolls to see how the rankings for the Circus of Talents will pan out. So, without further ado, we will be RB. See you soon. welcome back, dear Evers and Nevers, to the School for Evil and Good. We've been, there's been some angsty conversations, but our students are putting their noses to the grindstone, as it were, and preparing for the upcoming Circus of Talents. A talent show duel? Talent show duel between both schools for good and evil. How do y'all feel? I think I heard that some of you are trying to figure out just what your talent will be.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out.
I may have been eating tacos instead of deciding.
No clue.
I want the dice to decide for me on how high our rankings are when we get there. I feel like that'll help with the inspiration.
I think so. So,
do we want to make a call, or is this something that we have time to like play out, like figuring out what the talents are? Because
I'll say let's play it out. You know, like there's
Okay.
no, you're not. It's not like you're on stage now. Perform. We're preparing for the Circus of Talents. And so indeed, your professors in your various classes are also trying to kind of help you bring out your innate talents as well. So, who wants to kick us off?
I'll go.
Okay. So we're gonna make a roll to kind of determine how our schoolwork is going. What class are we in? That might help us determine what attribute we're rolling with.
Special talents? That's a class.
It is
Right, with
Evil
Ursula?
105 with Professor
Yes.
Ursula the Sea Witch.
I'm glad I can remember that.
She's like slithering. Her classroom is down by the lake. So you're all out on the beach, right by the lake, kind of where you landed 2 months ago, in the muddy waters. And Ursula's standing in the shallows, her black tentacles kind of writhing over the sand and in and out of the water. Who else is in this class with you?
No rules! Oh, he's back.
Interesting.
Power successful. Oh,
Oh man.
Hold
this
on.
is like when your dictator dies, and then their slightly more terrifying female cousin takes the.
Oh, please.
what a very specific thing to say, Hopper.
Surely no relevance to current events at all.
That was very interesting. Like my
Are we still
Zoom
live streaming?
shut down, and then I looked over at OBS and I got this notification saying OBS reconnected, and I'm like, oh, okay. So now,
Yeah, I'm
Oh
sorry.
wow,
I
we
would've
are
said something
frozen back
earlier,
when I was
but
still wearing a hood. Wait, no, I'm not.
I thought it was me.
So we should be able to.
Marcy, I think you're muted.
Totally am. Thank you.
Can y'all hear us? Yes. Okay, weird. Something happened with my internet momentarily.
Okay.
Ooh, surges.
Ursula and
I think
Dude
we're back.
of Gisburn. So Ursula's got Dude in front of everyone, and she's like, "Well, show us your talent, boy. Come now, show us." And he's just like, "Well," and he like waves his hands and starts casting a spell, and quack turns into a duck on the beach.
I definitely thought you were gonna say was going to do blue steel, but I'm biased. Thanks, Marcy.
I can't
This
do
is
it.
your fault.
Wow. My
And
gift to
Ursula laughs. That talent won't get you very far in the circus, my dear. Perhaps I could give you a better one. We can make a deal. See me after hours. He just kind of waddles away in duck form.
It's what he deserves.
Shinnok! Have
Yes,
any
Professor
talents to
Ursula?
wow us with? As her tentacle, beckons you forward. Now, this doesn't have to be the talent you perform with. This is special talents. We've been practicing the skills and abilities that come natural to us. Now, you spent some time with your sidekick, the Sphinx, yes?
Yes, I did.
Did she teach you any talents?
For some reason, the only thing I can think right now is filibustering as a talent. But that does not. I do not think that works. So I'm thinking it would either be singing or some form of like oration, either slam poetry or a TED talk, some form of speaking would be Shinnok's talent.
Can you wow us with your voice, with your tongue?
Oh, Professor Ursula. You know how talented I am with my tongue.
I've heard.
So, let's see. I think... Okay, this is really hard because this is if there was just a entity, right, or just a conglomeration of my skills as a person, Maddie, the role player, and then oration, those Venn diagrams are so far apart from each other that this just. So I'm like, oh God, what would she do?
You don't have to method it. You can just describe the speech.
Yeah. So I theoretically I would like to allow her to roll with hot. I don't know if we have a Fox News broadcaster vibe going on here or something.
Oh, truly evil.
A real Megyn Kelly type.
Well.
Okay, but you know what? I think Shinnok is going to give a rousing speech. And yeah, I think she's gonna try to convince her classmates to just really think about the Circus of Talents and what you're doing there. And I think she's kind of framing it as wow, it would be such an honor to be chosen for the Circus of Talents. Yet another competition that we have really no say in, where we're kind of pitted against, nevers are pitted against evers, and she's probably, I think she's on some level trying to not rouse insurrection or anything, but there's definitely a little bit of rage against the machine, man, in her speech.
Sure. Yeah, let's roll with hot.
And she's doing all the look them in the eyes, imagine them without any imagine them only underwear.
In their underwear.
Damn it.
Going with that.
Hold on, I think
God.
you've stumbled upon something. This new method.
Okay. That is a 9. 9. So, yeah, that's a 9.
A 9 total. So it's not a rousing success, but Ursula is watching you, and the rest of your classmates are definitely listening. And afterwards, Ursula just kind of and with a big magical quill, makes a note on a floating parchment that's right by her. Interesting approach. Using your voice to inspire and spur on your fellow classmates.
That's what I do best. Moving people.
Perhaps that is your real talent, my dear. And she kind of smiles her wicked pout.
Oh, Ursula, you're so bad.
And a smoky black number 1 appears over your head, as the rest of the class is kind of we'll see if that nets you the top rank.
The Sphinx is back.
Oh, she's coming back.
Cameo.
We do know that because of their success in the trial by tale, that Trip and Shinnok are pretty much guaranteed to be in first and second rank. But let's go over to the School for Good and see one of our Evers and how they're doing.
Okay.
Who wants to start us off?
I have a thought
Okay.
on what it could be. I don't know if you don't want us to roll first. You want us to describe it?
Yeah, let's go to what class we're in, as we're preparing for the Circus of Talents.
It's a good question.
So we've got several different classes to pick from: beautification and grooming,
Mhm.
etiquette and chivalry, swordplay, history of heroes, and good deeds.
History of heroes.
With the fates.
And I think that Lilu is the last to go in the class to step up and demonstrate what she might do in the circus.
Ooh, yes, so I guess in the history of heroes class, they'd be preparing you by maybe teaching you about previous talents, previous circuses. Yes, the three fates, the sisters, as they're passing the eyeball back and forth between their gnarled hands, are asking the students, please show us a little bit of your craft that you've learned this semester. And yeah, so Leela, you wait till the end.
And she pulls out her sword. I've been practicing this. I'm really not sure how it's gonna go. And then she tosses it up in the air and catches it, and then this steady, very slow thrumming starts as she spins the sword, very finessing it, and just this drumming rhythm of da 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 da. It's starting to go, and she's doing a sword dance with it. But slowly, the purple finger glow starts spreading, and she is literally painting in the air with this sword dance images of heroes past in all of the books that she's ever read, but one at a time, not all at once. So for this one, she's just picking one element, she's almost making an illuminated page in the air with magic and her sword cutting silhouettes through the air.
Wow. Roll
That's
with
so cool.
What am I rolling with?
Because we're definitely using
not
magic.
great at that, so this is the real, we are really just gonna find out. All right, that's an 8.
An 8. Okay. There's a moment where you're faltering and the images are not necessarily coming as clear. The music isn't
Just started it.
right, but the rest of the class is entranced by your performance. And indeed, a great big white one in like smoke
Whoa.
appears, and the Fates nod. Perhaps you might want to practice, but something as showy as that might just win you the Circus of Talents. Child.
Wow.
You've definitely gone up in the rankings for sure. Whereas before you were like 11th ranked, a wild card in the trial by tale. I think you're moving up. I don't know if we're quite at the top just yet. Farkas and Chanticleer are still up there. But we'll put you around there for now. I'll list off the rankings later
Awesome.
because I'm still moving things around. Milo, let's stay in the school for good for now.
Yeah.
How are you earning your way into the Circus of Talents?
So, I've had an idea, but Milo has no clue what he should do. And I think he goes to the... He got into the trial after having a bit of a heart-to-heart with Professor Merlin, I believe. Or was it a different professor?
It was Merlin. Trip was creeping.
Yeah, I recall having a bit of a heart-to-heart with Professor / Headmaster Merlin.
Dean
So I
Merlin.
think, yeah, Dean Merlin. So I think Milo goes back to Dean Merlin, and whenever the dean has his office hours, and just sort of sharply knocks at the dean's office door.
The door opens after your second knock, and into Dean Merlin's office, which is high up in the castle for Good, and it overlooks the lake and the clearing, and the Castle for Evil as well. Sits like directly in his viewpoint. You see Merlin standing in front of like this large circular window as he's looking out, and he turns. Ah, young Milo, what is it? What can I do for you?
Well, Dean Merlin, I come to you with something of a conundrum. Well, you see, as we all know, the Circus of Talents is coming up, and well, I'm rather anxious to compete and equip myself well in it. And the only thing is, I've been racking my brains, and I've been trying to do my best in class and studying, and well, I can't think of a thing I can do for it. And we had that chat before the trial earlier this year. Or last year, earlier in the school year. You know what I mean. And, well, sir, I was sort of hoping I might come to you for advice.
He moves over to the window, and from behind the desk you can see two like big overstuffed armchairs, and he motions for you to take one of them as he sits in the other.
And Milo cocks his head. He is uncomfortable with the idea of sitting down in the dean's office, but he will go over and just sort of firmly plop himself and keep his back very straight.
Please
in the
make
opposite
yourself
armchair.
Comfortable, my boy.
I'm quite comfortable, sir.
You seem to have a talent for what's the word? Oh, my old brain. You seem to have a talent for propriety.
Propriety, sir.
Yes, a base inclination, if you will, towards etiquette.
Well, I do believe that, well, keeping things proper is proper.
However, I don't know if that's quite the showy spectacle that the circus is looking for. Indeed, the Theater of Tales has its own mind as to what makes a good talent. And in a circus, loyalty, propriety, steadfastness doesn't go far. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So, something showy, demonstrative, big.
Yes. Is there perhaps a song in your heart, a tale on your tongue that you've been yearning to express? I find that the best stories from the Circus of Talents are ones in which the students use the venue as a chance to express themselves.
Express myself.
What you're feeling inside. Let it out.
Here's a this is very good. Here's a GM question about mogrification magic. Does that include the ability to transmute things into other things, or is it more like transforming into a duck?
It is primarily living material, so turning yourself into a plant or an animal, but definitely some talents come out in other ways. I know of a particularly famous witch of Nottingham who had a talent for turning things into chocolate.
So Milo sort of cocks his head a moment. Yes. You know, sir, I think that did the trick. I've had an idea. Thank you, sir. And he gets up and bows to Dean Merlin. Much appreciated. Thank you for your time. And marches right out of the office.
So we do need a roll.
Yeah.
What do you want to roll with?
Let's see. I mean, I would say keep your cool.
Roll with cold.
Yeah.
Right, because this is more about the ranking.
Right. Let's try. Well, okay. Milo has also gotten into his head to do something stupid. So are we rolling a move or are we rolling on a stat?
We're rolling on a stat.
Then it's volatile, baby.
All right.
Milo is taking advantage of that reckless condition that he's got.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. Well. 3 plus 2 is going to be a 5. And that's it.
Milo just barely squeaks into Circus of Talents, which is fine because he's still in the same ranking as he was in the trial by tale. 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be going up against Dude.
Ooh.
God damn it, dude.
So we see Merlin watch Milo leaving his office, and from behind Merlin we go through the window and back towards the Black and Red School for Evil. Trip, where are you?
Look at me thinking about everything except for that. That is a class schedule. I think that this is prepping. This is Curses and Death Traps
With Dean Morgan Le Fay. So we're back in her icy dungeon classroom, and Shinnok is in this class as well. That's canon. Do you two sit together?
I don't think Trip was given a choice on that.
No.
I have vague ideas about what Trip is gonna do.
Okay.
So am I being so is Trip being put on the spot, or
The dean is going through basic enchantments for inspiring people, for basically like enchantments and spells for celebrations and parties. Spells that people will need for to cheer on their fellow students during the circus.
so I do have some questions about the full what are the capabilities of weather, for instance, for turning elements into other elements, because I think Trip has some natural tendencies towards some.
At this point, let's purpose can be you've been training with your magic for quite some time, and I think if you go into the library and start reading other spells, you might even begin dabbling in different schools of magic as well. So however the dice wants your spell to turn out, we'll work with that.
So, do you want me to declare what Trip is trying to do before I roll the dice? Okay. So, I think Trip is going to do something really dumb as per his purview.
So the dean has shown people these things, and at the end of the class, she's asking, "All right, it's time to practice our talents. We did great during the trial by tale, but I need to win this crown. You hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Now show us what you've got."
So Trip is gonna basically try to. I think it's probably a pretty low level weather magic type thing, and he's just gonna attempt to pump as much power into it as possible. Like basically, normally it's just like, ooh, you're gonna create a chill in the room. Instead, Trip's gonna basically try to take all of the heat out of everything around him.
Real
Except for
cold
me,
spot.
of course.
Except, yes. Well, obviously. God, if I was playing a bard, this would be the perfect time for a chill. Everybody needs a chill outline, but alas, I think Trip just is gonna sit down, cross-legged, and just kind of take a moment. And, like, you just see him ball his fists up and just kind of scrunch his eyes shut and just start concentrating. And we'll see how this plays out. Well, I have a -1 to purpose in this case. That's 10 -1, so 9.
9. I feel like that's what Shinnok got as well. You two are neck and neck. So yes, you as you're sitting there, some of the torches on the far end of the room like sputter, and go out. And as this kind of invisible chill moves down the rows of the classroom, students all like individually start shivering. But a few of them don't feel anything at all, including Shinnok and Dean Morgan Le Fay. And the dean she's like tapping her long fingernail against some ice that's like formed on the wall.
I think you can probably see Trip steam a little bit too.
Like it's all
he's
gathering up.
Putting it all in him.
Right. And like maybe the ice is creeping up around you on the floor and then begins like melting as it comes closer to you.
So
that
hot
song
right
gets
now.
really loud. So I have to turn it down a little bit. Well, it seems our captains are perfectly suited for winning this circus after all.
We won't let you down.
Shinnok, how are you reacting to Trip's spell?
I mean, if he's going to be next to me, I mean, honestly, I think she's like, yes, as expected. Maybe like thinking about a few tips to give him later, but other than that, kind of like failure wasn't an option. It was a success was expected.
And as that big smoky black one appears above your head, Trip, Gina, the green-skinned witch of Skund, kind of stands up from the back of the room, and she's like, Don't count me out just yet, Dean Morgan Le Fay. I will make you proud at the circus. And the dean just shrugs ever so slightly. Unfortunately, I won't be there to see it. None of the faculty are allowed inside the Theater of Tales as it happens, but I will be looking to see which one of my nevers walks out of that theater with the crown on their head. And if none of you happen to achieve it, well, I can find room for all of you in the dungeons. And she walks out.
Ooh.
It's cold
This
down
is shirt.
So, as our the day gets closer and closer and closer, Trip and Shinnok are in the lead in their schools once again. They're doing pretty good. Gina is right no. Let's put Fang right behind since you've been working with him. But I'm going to put Gina in 4th place right behind him. I think Lilu and Milo are doing better than they were before, so I'm going to move them both up. We're going to put Lilu in 3rd.
Whoa!
Behind Farkas and Chanticleer.
Oh.
I'm going to put Milo in 8th, I think. You've been studying pretty hard, but...
It's very kind of you.
Right. I feel like your professors are like, Milo was doing so good in his homework, but lately it just seems like he's not caring in the same way he used to, as you're maybe acting a little more reckless than you were before.
Perhaps.
We've got a few other spots to fill. Namely, we need someone opposite Milo. So Dude's in last. I don't know about 9th.
How about, I feel like Ewan should show up in there somewhere.
Let's put Ewan opposite Milo.
I think I feel...
Oh, yeah.
The red cap.
Yeah.
Sure.
I honestly just feel bad that we saddled them with that name because we couldn't think of anything else.
It's a family name. It was their
the
dad's name.
Giant.
Oh yeah, there's the giant.
Ooh, the giantess
And,
Cass.
Mhm.
Fauci?
Yes, I wanted to rename him Fosse.
Fosse.
I felt like that was better than Fauci, because Dr. Fauci, like that was clearly on my mind when I named him.
So retconned.
Loud helicopter going up ahead.
Ooh.
So yeah, we'll put Fosse in between Dude and Ewan. And I think Cass, will put her after Gina in 5th place. Opposite Adara, big, strong, beefy ladies. dueling
Jotun versus
talents.
Valkyrie. That's classic.
Yeah. I'm putting Elaine in 6th. So we've got one more Never somewhere. right. Dude. Going through my notes. Huh, no, I don't have an ever to go up against her. Let's move Fosse up to a lane then. The dancers.
Are we short ever?
So now I've got... there's an ever that needs to go up against Dude, but we do have an ever from class from our Surviving Fairy Tales.
Is it gonna? Don't say it
Ian,
again. God
the
damn it!
leprechaun. So we have Ian and Ewan. We'll put Ian in.
So I don't have one of those characters written down because I thought they were the same character.
Oh no!
They maybe they come from the same region. They're cousins.
Look, let's not make too many Irish jokes here. All right.
Hey, what can I say?
So Milo's up against Ewan. Lilu's up against
Fang.
Fang.
Drama.
Mm-hmm. I don't have anyone
Also-
for Gina. Oh, I don't know if we have any other evers.
Did we miss an ever? That can't be
No.
right.
Wait, who's Chanticleer against?
Trip.
Trip? Okay.
And Farkas is against Shinnok.
I don't like that.
Oh, I'm gonna nom me that chicken boy.
Patrick
That's all I
Ewing.
got in my notes.
Oh, do we get to make one up? I'm so
I
excited.
think we need an ever to put in fourth place to
Hey,
go up
chat,
against Gina.
do your thing.
Hey chat, we need a new ever student. Someone who's doing really well. Someone who has a fairy tale or comes from a fairy tale region of their own. Throw your ideas into the chat as we try and figure this out. We might move into some role play as we are getting as we're on the day of the Circus of Talents, February
God.
13th. Which you know what that means? Tomorrow, the 14th, the
If
day
you guys
of
are
the
quick-
winter ball.
Oh no.
If you guys are quick about it, I'll stop eating Girl Scout cookies on camera.
We've got yes, artistically inclined. Please toss out some names and backgrounds. Galdan, son of Gawain. Okay, choice.
Nice,
We do
nice.
have Farkas, who is the nephew of a knight of Camelot.
So it might be actually. Did we go with Gawain or did we go with Galahad on that one?
I think we did
I don't know.
Galahad.
It was Galahad. I'm pretty sure.
What's this? What are you linking us to? Oh.
That's.
It's a dumb joke. Don't waste your time.
Do we have a
I will 100% waste my time
a
on
John
this.
Cena look-alike we want to throw in here?
Oh my god. I lied. I will not. It's John Cena. Gosh darn it. Ooh, but the. Ooh, who can you not see though?
Ooh.
I was. I don't know that that's a. That's not really a. That's not another character that I'm thinking of.
No. There's like
Maribella.
That's pretty.
I like that.
Sleeping Beauty. That, yeah. Like the daughter of Sleeping Beauty or something. Or like, the niece, or...
The great niece.
The great... Oh, right, yes.
The great niece, Maribella.
I love that.
and she's just, kind of tired all the time.
She's narcoleptic.
She's just ready for a little nap.
I wonder what her talent is going to be.
Competitive sleeping.
I mean, she's going up
Uh,
against Gina.
Sleeping is a talent.
It
really,
is.
yes, it
Can
is.
y'all
If you're
hear
good at
this?
sleeping, I'm jelly.
This helicopter is like making passes.
Nah.
It's not coming through, but
I can't hear it, so you're good.
I
They're
think,
after you.
yeah, I think
Whatever
the feds are
program-
after you.
Yeah, whatever program is filtering you
That's-
is doing a good job.
Oh yeah, Maribella. Maybe one of you like rooms with her, and she. You're always afraid she's gonna like pass out in her sleep.
Oh
What if she has dreams so vivid that other people can see them?
Oh,
no. That's
Look,
dope.
we're
that's
not playing
dope.
Invisible Sun, all right?
I love that.
Too weird?
No, you're good.
I think I love G. Michael Austin's suggestion that she's always so well rested that she's super alert and aware all the
I
time.
love that.
Yeah.
That is a
Chat
superpower.
really came through.
So,
Wow.
what if she's not
Tis a consummation to be devoutly wished.
okay?
I thank you for not being the only one to make me process that visibly.
If questioned, I think the reason, if you ask Maribella why she sleeps so well, she would have an answer for that.
Are you gonna tell? Do we have to ask? Damn you!
Dream magic is dope AF. It's one of the most powerful forms of magic next to chronomancy, the manipulation of time.
Oh, so this is killing me, and I can't think of it. And maybe Chad can help me out. It's actually an American folk tale about a dude who goes to sleep by the side of the road and wakes up 100 years later.
Rip
Something.
Van Winkle.
Thank you. This has been killing me for like 5 minutes.
Glad my literature degree could be of use.
If pressed, Maribella would say, well, when I was younger, Mama, she wanted me to learn how to sleep like a princess. So I was forced to sleep on the lumpiest of mattresses. Every single night, a pea under my bed, under my mattress. How awful! So I've had to learn to sleep in the most obscene of conditions.
I mean, I feel
So
that.
good.
Ugh.
That's like a real thing too.
Crossing the streams, though, man. It's dangerous.
Yeah, don't make this invisible sun. Come
Close
at
enough.
me. Come at me, great Zamino.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think how much time do we have between that scene and the actual circus?
Yeah, I think let's lead up to the start of the circus, and we'll pick up next week when we begin our talents. So yeah, we've got about 30 minutes left in tonight's session, and I imagine that everyone will be gathering inside the Theater of Tales. So the students from the School for Evil will be walking across the lake. There's a bridge that goes across the lake and into the School for Good, where right through those doors is the Theater of Tales. Do we want to start in there while we're like commingling, talking, or are there things that we need to do before we go to the theater?
I think there's something I have an idea for that might need to happen before that. Dear God, I don't know what accent I'm slipping into, but it's bad.
It's great.
So I think it's I think at some point during the next little bit of time between like when those kind of practice starts and the circus, Trip's gonna lurk some more and get wait for a good opportunity, like probably when Shinnok's busy, I assume. And he just kind of want to talks to Lilu. What would tell me, oh grand and glorious GM, what would be a good time or situation for that to occur?
I mean, if you want to talk to her before we head to the theater, then
Oh, definitely before.
lunch is always the best place. I love that their lunchroom is like this picturesque nature glade, like right by the lake.
It's true. I mean, we also did establish that Lilu has been out on the grounds at night with Elaine.
Aha!
Ooh, that is.
Yeah, it's a magical fantasy world where you can go outdoors.
Yeah, you know,
Oof,
and we
too
could do
real.
that.
I mean, to be fair, I spend all day outside, but also my work doesn't care if I die, so.
So you find Lilu and Elaine out on the grounds.
So are you guys doing practicing like hand to hand
I think
dancing?
if this is after our heart to heart, it's probably graduated into like less training and more like being friends.
Right. So
Oh,
like a few nights later, you're kind of hanging out, and maybe like she's been teaching you some dance moves.
Oh yeah, that helped me with my sword dance.
Right.
Absolutely.
this is very heartwarming. So Trip's gonna lurk all up on that. Like just kind of, I think it's less of a creepily watching and more like kind of wants to interject, but keeps feeling too awkward to actually like. So it's kind of like, oh, and this is nope. Oh wait, no. And I'll wait a little bit and oh, they're laughing again. Okay. I
I think
kind of
it's
I kind of imagine you guys are down by the lake.
yeah, I think at some point like Elaine goes off like to bed and like they probably maybe let's say they like sleep in separate areas of the school. So like we would be like, okay, good night, Elaine. This was fun.
So I think Trip's gonna sidle on up and just kind of be like, "Hey,
Oh. Hi.
sorry, I didn't mean to startle you or nothing.
Oh, that's okay. I just wasn't. Are you allowed to be on this side of the grounds? I guess you are.
I mean, allowed. It's a strong word. I've been meaning to talk to you. And you just kind of takes a couple moments. Like you see a couple like start stops as he's trying to figure out exactly how to say what he's trying to say. And I'm sorry about how it went down in the caves.
Oh, I don't think you have much to be sorry for. You were just trying to win for your school.
Yeah, but we had some sort of agreement, and I kind of lost sight of that, and amidst all the shenanigans and furriness and general violence.
Yeah, well, I think it's fair to say that I lost sight of some things as well somewhere through there.
Oh, he just kind
Are you okay?
of, I'm fine. That's a lie. And it is just you can kind of tell there's something he wants to say. It's just like, oh,
Trip, I mean, like, if you need to say something to me, it's okay. I've pretty much heard everything there is to hear.
it and just kind of rubs the back of his head and goes, "You know, your dad's a legend, right? Where I'm from."
I've heard some things about that. He doesn't really talk about his past all that much when I'm around.
I can imagine he wouldn't. You,
Is that a bad thing?
I mean, bad's relative. What do you know about my family?
Not too much. I'm sorry. If he had I know the story. He did his best to make sure I wouldn't really hear anything else. I know that something else like was a part of it, but he wasn't really spoken of too much.
I mean, I understand that. I don't I know I don't look like the he just kind of vaguely gestures in the direction of the school for evil. I don't really look like any of the wolves you see around here. But I grew up with that lot. And you know, the wolves, which is like That's a name with capital letters. Um, and I know you've been taking a lot of heat for, especially after how things went down in the caves, and I just want you to know that I understand what it's like to not be able to control your own body, to not be able to be yourself all the time.
Oh, yeah, it's not that much fun, is it?
Nah.
Don't really. I'm pretty sure I'm stuck with it. Better
I mean,
make the most of it.
that does seem to be how it plays out.
Wait, you have a curse too?
It may come as a shock to you, but the wolves don't go around adopting regular old human-looking people.
I think she's like genuinely like, kind of like, wait, do you do the same thing that I do? Like her expression has gone from like, I'm so confused to like, same hat, same hat.
Yeah, I Trip's more like, oh god, same hat. um, uh, yeah, I'm not really, I'm not like them, and I'm not quite the same as you. I got my own problems, but
Oh.
I'm a half breed in every way that counts. And
Half-breed. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I guess so am I, but like, that doesn't matter.
yeah, but both your parents are good.
Trip, to be entirely honest, half the good students in this entire school have either talked about me behind my back, actively bullied me, thought that I was untrustworthy, or were lying to my face about being my friend when they thought that they were just obligated to hang out with me because I had a princess in my title. So it's really not a great track record to say that the Evers are wholly good and the Nevers are wholly evil.
Oh, that is 100% not what I'm saying. I know exactly all of this. This is, I don't know what this is, but I don't like it.
You don't like who you are.
I didn't say that. You get
come here to compare curses.
No, I didn't. I just wanted to say I understand how you feel, and you're not alone.
Thanks. She puts a hand on your shoulder. It's like, hey, you know that goes both ways, right?
I think this is kind of an interesting thing because like I assume Trip's out bigger than Lilu. Yeah, so and you definitely you have the fun moment of watching somebody much or significantly bigger than you just kind of like cringe a little bit. Like not just like clearly
And like she retracts her hand, like thinking that like maybe that wasn't the right move, or like you don't want her to touch you. Sorry. I know we haven't really talked one-on-one before, but like we've been all hanging out for a while and never you've never said anything bad to me, and I don't think you're a bad person.
I mean, we're all entitled to our opinions, I guess.
No, I'm serious. I know that the school wants us to play certain roles for the sake of the story, but I don't think that I think you ultimately get to decide the story that you're going to tell.
He kind of weighs your words for a second, and I don't know. I don't. Maybe you get that choice, but I don't know if we all get that choice.
Everybody should get that choice. Listen, for the story that I come from is weird. For all intents and purposes, the only reason that my father's considered a hero is because of my mom. Sometimes it takes somebody to just talk to you and understand you to see beyond what it is that your role is going to be. It was undetermined if my father could actually break his curse. That I'm alive, I guess, is proof of that, but if my mother never showed up, if her father never came to that castle and found that rose and brought it back to her, and she was forced to come there, the story would be completely different. Why would they make heroes and villains go to school together if we weren't supposed to meet each other?
I don't know. But maybe it's good things happen on sometimes, and maybe it ends badly other times.
Maybe. But that's not decided yet, is it?
Trip, what are you afraid of?
I think Trip is afraid of... Trip is afraid of believing that that's an option. Because, Lilu's parents had a drastically different story than Trip's parents. And, kind of believing that there's no options and that there is choice is the only kind of security. Otherwise, it just turns into a story about people being horrible to one another.
Roll with cold. To try and overcome this and hear what Lilu's saying to you.
That's unideal. Well, luckily I have a +2 in cold, so that's 4.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Ah! Nothing she's saying is getting through.
Oh,
I think you probably see Trip kind of like just super tense, and especially when you started talking about your parents, he's just like grinding teeth and just kind of like shaking a little bit, just like real tense.
I think Lilu's gonna go full-blown Disney princess on you here, and I know she took away her hand before, but is gonna like bring it back to be like, hey, it's okay. I don't know anything. Most people don't really like me. I kind of decided after the trial that I'd really want to focus on is a story for myself. I'm trying to get other people to see that that's all that they need to do too. But I am your friend. I guess I'm really bad at this. I just all I want is I think that people deserve to be seen. And loved for who they are and nothing else beyond that. But I don't think anybody's beyond that. Well, maybe Gaston, but that's because he sent somebody to shoot me.
That's not
But
in character,
you
by the
didn't
way.
do that. Anyway, Trip, I think you're a good person, and you're my friend. But I don't have to be yours. I'm trying to learn how to be okay with that.
Oof. I need a little bit of GM guidance here.
I might be rolling with hot
Roll
here.
to turn someone on.
I also feel like we're moving towards an intimate moment.
It's possible.
Let's see how this hot roll goes first.
I feel like this could go very
Lily's never
badly.
been kissed before.
And she's gonna have her first kiss with her friend's boyfriend?
Shinnok's just
Nox okay
sharpening,
with that.
Well, let's see what the
sharpening a
roll
knife
is.
in the back.
Jesus. She's making friends with like her crush's crush. Oh, this is such a mess. It's a 10.
Okay, so take a string on Trip.
Yeehaw.
And Trip, choose a reaction. Give yourself to her. Promise something you think she wants, or get embarrassed and act awkward.
Am I allowed to do all three?
Oh my gosh.
One.
I guess. What is Lilo going for?
She's trying to comfort you. She sees that you're like so totally out of your element. You never really talk to her one-on-one, and she sees that you're in distress, and she's trying to tell you honestly that like she does think you are a good person and you are her friend.
Okay, I think. I think Trip was about to lose it. Pretty clearly.
I will say out of character that I, as a player, give you permission to pull an intimacy move on my character, and I will roll with things.
Cool. I mean,
It's usually
Chat.
two-sided. If the intimacy move happens,
Yeah.
it's both intimacy actions happen.
the question is, do we want maximum
have a
angst?
platonic intimacy moment?
Right.
Like, that's,
I
I
think-
mean, strong
That seems-
friendships are a thing.
Oh, but my character is not a romantic, to be clear.
Right.
So this could be a romantic. It's a romantic
She's
intimate
asexual,
moment.
not a romantic.
Ooh, okay. So it's still.
Ooh, but why don't we leave it super vague just to make it super annoying for everybody, and also so we can force a season 2. Um, I think, so Trip is gonna kind of like clench, take a deep breath, and just kind of like relaxes and just kind of like leans and lowers his head, but not like clearly not initiating a kiss
Mhm.
or anything like that, but just goes in for a forehead bump, like just a.
So you're going with gives yourself.
Yeah, I think so. That tracks.
Does that trigger an intimacy move or no?
I think let's.
Oh God
do you
damn
want
it!
me to read what mine is?
Please, we've seen Trips before.
It's very apropos. So the vanilla text is when you have sex with someone, but when you are intimate with someone, you establish a deep spiritual connection with them until either of you breaks that spirit connection by being intimate with someone else. Add 1 to all rolls made to defend them. You can tell when that connection has been broken.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well,
So that forehead bump is spiritual.
that's a spiritual boop. That is the technical term. My beans. All right. Well, Trip's intimacy move is so very, very angsty. When you're intimate with someone, tell them why you don't belong in their world. If they agree, give yourself a condition to reflect. If they disagree, you gain a string on them. So I think that like after like kind of a moment of just like this just intimate physical connection and just like this moment of like mutual trust, Trip just kind of like just gives a little shake and just goes, look, like I don't really know that you want me as friend or whatever. Like your story, your parents' story, you might be good, you might have a choice, but I ain't got a choice. Like, just Like there's not really there's no path for me here that doesn't lead down a dark place.
I don't think that's true. I think there is as much of a path as you want there to be. I also think that Lilu is, since the nature of the intimacy role is such that, since true, like the nature of like true love and true acceptance, shall we say, is inherent in her father's breaking her father's curse, she can feel when that spiritual boop kind of happened and is like very much like a little taken aback by that. But I don't know if Trip necessarily registers how significant that was.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think that it is significant to him in the sense that he just doesn't have. There's very few people he like. There's almost no one he actually trusts and is in any way intimate with, and like his kids have had a rough road. Does not have really the experience. Maybe he might recognize it or he might feel it, but not really. He don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
God, wow, that's.
So as we leave these two spiritual boops, we zoom out. And I guess that was the night before the Circus of Talents. So do we come to the next day? Where are we?
I have an idea. I think Shinnok is going to want to talk to Milo before the circus starts, but happy to do that at the top next time as well.
Okay. I definitely cried a little bit during that scene, so I've had
We've all cried this episode.
I've had my my emotional release for the day.
I think I told Hopper this, but I definitely said if I don't get some of y'all to cry this episode, I will not have done my job. So I feel
Yeah.
Just the comparison of your parents and Trip's parents. I mean, it's really obvious in hindsight to me, but the fact that
I think we all love this as an outro.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we have the circus looming over us
The
for next
Circus
time.
of Talents. And so as the camera fades to black, it opens up ever so slightly, and we can see the Theater of Tales. Two sides of the theater, with a row in the middle separating. One side decorated in evil, and the other side decorated in good. And floating above it all is a single golden spiked crown, waiting to be claimed by the most talented student at the School for Evil and Good. Thank you to your Evers and Nevers for joining us today. Ari Derps, thank you for joining us.
yay, Ari!
Great Zamino, fellow captain here at ManaPot, always happy to have you here with us. G. Michael Austin, you've been here since day one, and we are very grateful to have you. Yes, we are thinking about a second season. Maybe sometime in the summer, but there are definitely going to be more games, as always, here at ManaPot. Join our Discord. The Artistically Inclined. It's so great having you here. Join our Discord, y'all. Right there. So you can stay in touch and keep up with all the cool things that we're doing. I know tomorrow night is our Wednesday happy hour, and we're always looking for more players to join our happy hours. Tomorrow night is Ladies' Night, actually. So be sure to join us at 8 p.m. for a Ladies' Night happy hour.
I think I'm on that stream.
Yeah!
Oh,
Awesome!
so jealous!
I just joined right before this stream. I'm excited.
Oh my god, so excited for you.
We've got our another happy hour on Friday, and then a weekend full of great stuff. So check the calendar, check the Discord, follow us on socials. Anything else? Any last words, my students?
Thanks for watching, y'all.
Yeah, really. Thanks for being with us.
And
We fun
Come
doing
to our
this.
Discord. Yell for a season 2.
Yeah. Season 2 pressure, please.
we will see you all next week for the finale of this season of the School for Evil and Good. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.